right, welcome back to Nitty Gritty. This week we're going to have a little bit of fun, and Cam and I are just going to jam on a couple of things. And it's fun to do this every now and then.
Yeah.
Just to kind of chat about stuff. I have one serious question and one fun question that's going to make this podcast episode.
I like that. Of course, Andrew's the one with the plan.
About 30 seconds.
Don't let him know. Don't let him know.
So here's my question to you. We look back on, we'll call it our season 2
Right.
of Nitty Gritty, and we've had some pretty fun guests. It's funny because I don't forget who our guests are, but since it happens every week, it's like, oh yeah. Anyways, since season 2 started, it started with Corinne, right? Mint Arrow.
Right.
And then Lisa and Scott and Dr. Chitty. But my question to you is, of all of the guests, which guest impacted you in such a way that you've done something different since that interview?
Gosh, dang. That's a hard question to answer. Just, yeah. I'm going through the list right now.
So we had Jody and,
oh, never mind. This is easy. I have 2.
oh, okay.
I have 2. Well, I have 1. I'm gonna give you a 2-part answer.
Okay.
There's one that has made me, like, in all honesty, has really changed my life.
Okay.
And then there's one that just made me feel special and loved and just hold my head. Because one of these days we will share. I've been going through something kind of hard the last few months, and I've kind of kept it close to my chest. We're to the point now where I will soon share what that is. But one of the guests really helped me with that trial. And then one made me probably gave me a little bit of fuel to keep going with just how much she has cared and has checked in.
Okay.
Both women, of course. I guess there's a good probability of that with our guest list. But so Corinne, Mint Arrow.
Okay.
We have become pretty close, and she has recognized some things in my personality that are very similar to her husband's.
Okay.
And pointed something out that
What was it?
codependency.
Okay.
And
Like I just called that out.
yeah, like I have no problem. It's codependency is it's a minefield as far as like, it means everything. Like
Sure.
There's so many different meanings. It's almost like you can pretty much peg anybody as codependent, but it's basically, in a nutshell, it's not valuing myself more than I value everybody around, like making everybody else's problems my own, because in all reality, I'm not happy inside of my own life or in my own skin, right? And she gave me a book called Codependent No More. And with those of us with ADHD, it's a very common trait.
Sure.
It's also very common for our spouses to take that on, because it's almost like being married to an addict. And that's generally where you find codependent people, or spouses of addicts. But we also, most of us get it from our upbringing somehow. And I have always kind of been a pleaser. Like I've always wanted to like please my dad and have him be impressed with me, and just kind of felt like I could never get there.
Yeah.
And I was really doing that inside of all my relationships. And so that book was almost third door style. Like it was not one day, but it was 2. Like I just plowed through that thing because it was so fascinating. And there's stuff I agree with in it and stuff that I don't agree with, but I was a guest on her podcast.
Yep.
Talking about ADHD, and we ended up talking for like 40 minutes over Zoom after we were done recording. And she was just very matter of fact, just like, let me tell you what I'm seeing. It was so cool. And so I bought the book that day, and it really changed my outlook on things.
Who's
and then
the other one?
It's Jody.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss her middle name, her
Orgill,
right? Jody Orgill Brown. Like, she has, the day that we recorded, she gave me a hug afterwards, which is probably not, you didn't see that, but I was emotional a couple of times, and this trial that I'm referring to really kicked off a few days before we recorded with Jody. And man, she just said, there was something that she said, and it just like waterworks. It was afterwards, and she just gave me the biggest hug, and it just made me feel it was so genuine.
Yeah.
And once every few weeks since then, it's not just, how are you doing? It's just, you are loved, you are special, you're such a light. Like, I think about you all the time. I love you, my friend. I hope everything's good. Just so Jody.
For sure.
And so those are two people that as I look back and as I get, overcome this completely, I will look back and be very, very grateful. Like, that's what's so cool about this, right? Like, it's not just stories in a podcast. Like, there's true connections made.
Yeah, for sure.
And those are two women that for the rest of my life, I will always look back and be very grateful that God put them in my path.
Well, it's funny that those friendships were formed on a podcast, right? You know what I mean? Like, in a couple of hours, you can form, this type of relationship with someone that will last who knows how long, but it's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. And, we have such an disconnected society now. And what's cool about a podcast is we kind of play into that because you're probably using your phone to listen to it. But it's what we are all missing out on. These are real conversations, face to face. Like Andrew and I like to do face to face wherever we can, which I think we have all but one, right?
Yeah.
These are face-to-face interactions that it's such a strong reminder that we should be doing this every day.
Yeah.
Like, get off your phone in the elevator because you feel awkward. Like, say hi to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, ask somebody how their day's going.
You want to have a conversation? Talk to them.
Make friends. I mean, that's how we make new friends. And I've never really thought about the fact that we're probably making less friends than we ever have. And how much are we all missing out on? Like, if we just keep our same little comfort zone bubble for the rest of our lives, which our phones are really making us do that.
The metaverse.
It's how much are we missing out on? God put us, we're all here to help somebody else out.
Sure.
So if you don't put yourself out there, you're missing out on amazing support and amazing new friends. Like, if it wasn't for this, I don't meet Jody and Corinne.
Yeah.
And that would be really, really sad.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my answer. How about you?
I need to be prepared to answer the questions I ask, huh?
Well, I'm going to change the question up to match more my own answer.
Yeah.
Is there somebody that, one, like you said, your question, that you learned something that you actually implemented into your daily life or changed you? But is there somebody that just you felt a real cool connection with and that you're still friends with since the podcast? Maybe they're one and the same, but
I think that probably is one and the same. I will say, and we've always talked about it, but it continues to, and I guess surprise is the wrong word, but it continues to delight. Is that the right word?
I like that, actually. Yeah.
The genuine friendships that we do form with our guests.
Oh my gosh, I have this written up here.
Surprise and delight.
Yeah, look at That's from Danny Meyer, my favorite food podcast. He's the founder of Shake Shack.
Okay.
And that's his motto for his staff, surprise and delight your customers.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I think you can go through and, you do establish these really cool relationships. Like you were just talking,
right.
Shari's still,
I wanted to mention Shari.
And Carl and all of these guys. I will say the last, 15 episodes, I think the one that I felt a cool connection with that has been really good has been David Butler.
Oh, yeah.
So that one was just so fun for me because I should have
used that one too.
The conversation has been so top of mind as far as, church and religion and spirituality and Christian and, loving Christ and neighbors. There's been so much stuff going on. Right. And I've had so many conversations offline with people about these types of things that conversation with him was so much fun. And it's one of those things where there is still something eating at me where it's okay, there's something more to be done with him. So David, if you're listening, we're going to figure something out because there's something else. But that's also one of the episodes where I've gotten more people that have kind of reached out to me privately and told me how that episode impacted them, which is also
Interesting.
super cool because it's like,
That's a good third part of the question.
yeah, it's like, because of this episode, I did this. And like, there's nothing more rewarding for me. Like, that's why I continue to do Nitty Gritty.
Right.
Is that right there? Like, selfishly, it's the relationships. I get to talk with people, but I could do that over lunch with someone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So selfishly, the reason why I continue to do it is when I do hear from someone that said, I heard this, but more importantly, I did that. And it's like, oh my gosh, that impacted you in such a way you actually took action. And the actions are meaningful.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I talked to this family member, or, oh, I did this, you know, and I think we've had a handful of those episodes where whatever it is, it strikes a nerve with someone. And so when I hear that, it's like, okay, it's worth it. The headache of sometime doing this and running through all of the stuff is worth it, because that would have never happened without it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think for me, that's been one of those episodes, and David's one of those dudes where it's like, yeah, there's like, I relate to him on such a deep level on how he approaches life,
right,
in the gospel, in church, in Christ, that it's like, okay, dude, you're my guy.
Yeah. Oh, he had I'm still so floored at just, I listen to his podcast. Like, that's how I do my weekly study.
Sure.
It's his podcast. 'Cause it's just, golly, he thinks about things I would never think of.
Yeah.
So he's special.
Okay. Now you're ready to have some fun. We are too serious.
Yeah. I'm a very serious person.
Okay. So
It's my wiring.
is it A, time for Thanksgiving, or B, time for Christmas?
It's Thanksgiving, damn it.
Nope, it's not.
This is such horse. I'm so over this Halloween to Christmas crap because you're ruining Christmas. Oh, that Johnson Files video the other day. Did you watch that, where he's singing Thriller at 11:59 p.m. and then right at midnight he's like, Santa Claus is coming to town. Like, it's so funny. Christmas is such a big deal to me. Like, I love everything about Christmas, but I learned right after my mission that if I start doing Christmas before Thanksgiving, about a week before Christmas, I am over it. Like, I'm over the music, I'm over the cheer, I'm over all of it. And it's like, so I made a very big rule. Plus, Thanksgiving is awesome. And so it's like,
overrated.
I don't think it's overrated. I love Thanksgiving, but
That's why I brought this up, because I knew where we stand on it.
right. It's like, until Thanksgiving dinner is over, I will not listen to Christmas music. I just won't. I'll put Christmas lights up a little early if I have to, but that's only because if you don't do it, you can't get anybody. I used to hang my own, but my roof pitch is way too steep.
I used to hang my own. Oh wait, no, I didn't.
So yeah, I'm a hardcore.
Okay, so let me
Christmas
ask.
doesn't start until Thanksgiving.
So why do you like Thanksgiving?
The food.
Okay, so let's break this down.
There's no meaningful part of the holiday for me, because I mean, we're celebrating a bunch of people that stole land from the Indians. But
let's be real for just a second. Is Thanksgiving dinner really that good, or is it just the nostalgia, the tradition of it?
no, it's really that good.
It really isn't.
If it's at the right house,
It really isn't. The only thing that's
really
good
that
about
good.
Thanksgiving is Kim's sweet potatoes.
that's a big part of it.
But like mashed potatoes, meh.
I don't know. Ashley makes. I could eat her mashed potatoes all day long.
But you get them all year. There's nothing like
I mean, I guess that's true.
turkey, meh. It's good. Yeah,
Thank you.
no, Cam's
Thank you.
turkey is awesome. Yeah, but okay, so that's actually a
But
second.
you can get that all year,
You can get that all year.
right?
Cranberries, meh. Stuffing, blah. Most of the pie, meh.
Will you not ruin this for me? You're right, though. I don't disagree with you. So hold on.
Like Thanksgiving dinner is the most aggressively
I don't-
mediocre dinner that people will prep 2 full days for.
I don't think it's just about the dinner. I think it's a family thing.
But like, here's
But
the
for
thing.
divorced families, it makes it hard. Like my family, it's like, do I go dads? Do I go moms? In-laws? Like, it's like 3 now. But you're right. If I'm being real,
Yeah.
I don't care about the holiday itself. I do appreciate football and dinner. Like, I like Thanksgiving Day. But for me, it's basically just the stopwatch for Christmas. Like, that's the hard date. Like, as soon as Thanksgiving Day is over, not because the holiday's over, it's just I know that if I start it that day, it's going to last through Christmas. So maybe that's half of what Thanksgiving is to me. It's a calendar reminder that Christmas starts now.
Because like I just don't understand. Like, there's multiple days of cooking, and then like my grandma was so funny. She always used like her finest china. Like, paper plates was like an abomination.
I know that.
And so then there was like
interesting to me.
hours of cleanup after. And so really at the end of the day, all it was prep, eat, and clean up. Like, there's no like hanging
That's
out.
my career.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
I start at 3:30 this afternoon for tomorrow.
I know I'm in the
And I do it
minority, but
all
I'm
over
like,
again.
just give me Christmas. Like, I was telling Jenna, I was like, I would rather have like tacos for Thanksgiving.
See, okay, we don't disagree there. I am totally okay with Thanksgiving being whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, food wise. I do love
As long as
Thanksgiving
Kim's
dinner.
sweet potatoes are there.
Right. Like,
then
I
we're
love
good.
yams and apple. There are just things that you don't really eat any other time. Like stuffing, yams and apples, sweet potatoes. Like, those are things that, and like rolls. The turkey's cool, but I'm with you that I'm there for the sides. Like, for Thanksgiving, for me, like, it's all about the sides.
And that's me.
I love cream corn. I even love the stupid green bean casserole. Like, I love all of it. But
Would you love it if it wasn't Thanksgiving though?
yes, I would. But
Okay.
you really don't eat those things unless it's Thanksgiving.
That's my point. Like, if someone randomly had that like Sunday dinner, would you be like, oh my gosh, this is so good?
I would be stoked. Easter kind of has that flavor to it. Like,
Kind of, yeah.
I feel like you get kind of like, ham, funeral potatoes, sometimes the sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes. But
Like, I would so much rather have Thanksgiving dinner prepared. And so
I
like
do
the
love-
whole family can just hang out, eat, and then just be done.
well, a lot of people do that now. I mean,
know, and I
that makes
love
me
it.
a lot of extra money on Thanksgiving. I know that, which is great. So thank you. Plug. Yeah,
it's
the
funny 'cause,
link
like-
is up now, folks. Just go to the
Well,
Bam
it's funny.
Bam's Instagram.
Well, because it's in-laws Thanksgiving this year, right? And so
I can't keep track.
And so
I
we're-
feel like it's in-laws Thanksgiving every year. But
we were joking though, because Jen was like, well, what should we do? And then how we do this? I'm like, well, let's just order food. And like Kim's like, no family member of mine is eating out for Thanksgiving. It was just so funny. Like,
But what if those people that you buy it from make it better than you? Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to make you're not going to make turkey as good as mine, right?
I will agree with that. I've
So-
never had turkey better than this turkey. I will 100% agree.
Thank you. But I agree with her. Like, you're not going to get the sides.
It's just funny because like, so for me, I hold like no emotional attachment to Thanksgiving.
Right.
So for me, it's like, bring on Christmas. Like, I want the lights up. I want the music on.
And you don't get sick of it.
I want people being happy.
Yeah.
Like,
Christmas is
like
happy.
bring on Christmas. Like, we can just, and it's super rude.
I think you should be grateful for the supply chain issues because I feel like Christmas got here earlier than it ever has before. And everyone's freaking out. Like, you got to buy your stuff right now. It's
is
not
why
going to be here. I'm like,
this should be the year of experiences. Get rid of crap because of the supply
Totally
chain
right.
issue. This should be the Christmas of experience.
yep.
That's our challenge. Nitty Gritty
that.
is challenging you to have the Christmas of
Let's
experience.
title this episode,
Christmas.
Make the Christmas of Experiences. We don't even have Temple Square this year, though.
Why?
It's all under construction.
Oh.
It's all closed.
Yeah. So go other places. There's other cool lights, and that's the other thing. Like, some neighborhoods have the raddest lights now.
That's the thing. I will say our neighborhood is an epic light neighborhood. Well, we have that one house that is nuts every year, the Stewarts. But you know what's funny though? It's funny that you're talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas. I've decided that next year I want to, like, I have always had the urge to go all out for Halloween. Like, graveyard murder, like blood, scary, like my whole yard.
I'll come be a clown.
Like, well, it's funny. We do this trunk or treat thing around this
Yeah.
whole like park, right? And it just hit me like, next year I'm going to buy the rapiest van you have ever seen. And there's going to be blood splatter on the windows and strobe lights and clowns, like kids, because everybody tries to make theirs a little scary or whatever. Like, I'm going to go nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to look like a crime scene. And the kids are going to have to walk up and say, trick or treat. Like, and yeah, I want you popping out as Pennywise. Like,
Yes.
I want it to be just terrifying. And then I
So-
want to park it in front of my house.
And that's part of the thing too with Thanksgiving. Like you don't like get
Yeah, there's
festive
no
for Thanksgiving.
That's totally true.
And like
It's a meal. Thanksgiving's a meal.
and it's so overrated.
Well, let's not. I still need to sell turkey. So it's very special to be with your family over turkey.
That is true.
Right. I mean, but I do love the meal. I like Thanksgiving Day. I like football.
I love being with family. I do. I love everyone's getting together.
Right.
You know, Thanksgiving, you do come, you are grateful.
And we do have Kim. The food is good. Like,
Yeah.
and me. Like, I'm sure I'll bring turkey.
Yeah.
The food, like, I will say the in-law Thanksgiving is always super tasty.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, wait, are we doing it at your house? Please?
I don't know.
Oh, please. please.
But
We're doing it at your house.
I don't know.
Why would we?
We talked about
Let's not
doing it
start.
there.
I don't want you to have to be the house, but why would it not be the house? Like, there's no room in the Woodward house. Like, and there's like the kids are just right on top of it. Like, just send them down to the gym,
We'll talk about it.
chain the door,
There's a
throw
lock.
food through the windows.
There's a lock in it. We can lock them in. I did that on
Gosh,
purpose.
that would be amazing. Anyway,
But like, so our last thought, going back to the festives, right? That's why I love Christmas too. Is I love like Christmas lights and when people go big. I love our new neighborhood. Like they make us feel unfestive. Like our old house, like we were the only ones even just put a Christmas light up. So it's
Right.
like, oh, you guys are
do you
that
have
guy.
lights up already?
We're getting them put up. But our neighborhood, all of them already do.
Wow.
But they all decorated for Halloween too. Like they all had like
Right.
the cool like smoke machines and like you'd walk up and like lights and I was
Want
like,
to look like the Thriller music video.
yeah, I was like, oh, these guys are awesome. But to your point, it's like I want to go out. Like I want to do that next year. And it's not keeping up with the Joneses. Don't
No.
think it's that. It's
You're
that
just
was
into it.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I want to participate in the fun.
Right. That I think neighborhoods that get into it, that's it's not keeping up. It's just you're creating an awesome environment.
And like
you're
I'm
creating an
excited
awesome
for
neighborhood.
Christmas for this neighborhood to see what it's like. But yeah, this morning coming in the podcast, I was like, this would be a funny question because I know you love Thanksgiving.
I might have changed. I love the meal and I love
I've
the
convinced
family.
you to change.
No, I love the meal, but I don't really
I
give
totally
a crap
changed
about
his mind. Everyone,
I don't give a crap about Thanksgiving itself. For me, Thanksgiving is a good meal, a family day.
I
and
totally
at
did.
midnight, I get to start Christmas. It's like my hard start.
Let's put up Christmas lights tomorrow
No, actually, I don't mind Christmas lights.
and turn them on.
It's music for me. Christmas is the music.
Mariah Carey.
I like Mariah Carey. Like for
I read something about the amount of money
on.
she makes on royalties for Christmas. Well,
Oh,
like,
didn't you see that
it's
meme of like
crazy.
Mariah Carey coming out of a grave? Like, oh, it must be Christmas time. Like she's relevant again.
it's
Do you
so
have
awesome.
Do you have a favorite Christmas album or two? That's a good question. Like the music part of Christmas has always been probably the biggest part of Christmas for me. Like I love it, but if I start listening too early, I hate it.
So I do love Christmas music, but I'm not like that guy.
I am.
I don't even pay for like a music streaming service, so I only have the radio for music.
What is wrong with you?
I know. I don't pay
You don't
for
have Apple Music?
No, I don't have
What?
I don't have
You have Apple
Spotify.
TV?
No. Oh God. When I'm in the car, it's podcast and books.
Wow. You probably don't even have Sirius, huh?
No.
Oh my God. I have all of them. It's ridiculous. And I use all of them.
I don't.
I have one ultimate. It's Frank Sinatra Christmas. That's my ultimate number one, but I have a bunch. Like Harry Connick Jr. is
Connick Jr. is a
an
good
excellent Christmas. Anne Murray. Nobody probably even knows who that is. Canadian like folk or country singer, but that has always been a huge Christmas album in our house.
I want to hear people's like favorite Christmas. I'm going to make people think about Christmas. I want to hear what your favorite Christmas album
Yeah.
is.
Drop your top three.
Do you have a station? Like one, do you subscribe? Are you one of those
That's
weird
why I
people
love
that
Sirius.
subscribe to like a streaming? Just listen to the radio.
It's not weird to subscribe to a music service.
FM 100 is just fine.
No, it is not. You have on Sirius, you have like 12 different channels of Christmas music. Christmas country, like you have like big band.
Do you have like Christmas rap?
They have like R&B. Yeah, they have like an R&B station, like a Christmas. But I pretty much just listen to Country Christmas, and then like big, like it's all the like Nat King Cole, Rat Pack, 50s type stuff. I love that old traditional Christmas music, but yeah, I can't just listen to, because you got some weird stuff on FM 100. Like you'll have Barry Manilow Christmas, and then go to like Peanuts,
and then you hear them like over and over and over,
and then and then Trans-Siberia. Actually, Trans-Siberia, they have their own channel on Sirius too. But anyway, that's so funny. It's funny, like, how do you do Christmas? Give us your top 3 albums, and what are some
and you're
crazy
welcome.
things?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Yeah, the movies. Like, we could go to movies too. Like, everyone probably has the same, but Home Alone, Elf.
Cash did try to put Elf in yesterday, and I was like, no, I'm not ready for Elf yet.
Okay, so see,
I will get sick of Elf because it will be on a loop once it starts.
Yeah.
So I was like, we can wait on that one a little bit.
I agree. Polar Express, kind of weird, but I still like it. I mean, for me, it's Christmas Story, Elf, and Home Alone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's probably...
We'll watch all the Home Alones. My kids are old enough now where they all like them and get into them.
Home Alone's amazing. The original is the best.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I'm so mad that Will Ferrell didn't do a sequel to Elf. Turned down like $22 million, too.
I know, I was just reading about that.
But he didn't want to spoil the first one, which I respect that. But it's... Anyway.
Well, thanks for sticking with us. Always, thanks for listening. We've got some fun guests scheduled coming up.
Yep.
I
got pulled over the other day, and she's coming on the podcast. The police officer that pulled me over. Yeah. She was so nice. Just this sweet, like, female officer. And I'm like, I just thought of Isaac. I was like, she's so, like, kind and just had a great personality. I'm like, I would love to hear the perspective of a female, like being a female officer, a police officer. I'm like, would you ever come on the podcast? She's like, absolutely. I'm like, can I get your number? Sure. And we ended up knowing, like, she went to school with Steve Warner, my cousin, and Small World. But anyway, isn't that so funny?
So thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Holy hell.